Hey guys, it's Char, aka the Char Maker, and today I'm going to be walking you through all the projects I did at school this quarter. So I am a freshman at the Savannah College of Art and Design, as I've mentioned in past videos, and we have a sort of quarter system, so I'm done for the semester, I guess you could say. So I wanted to show you guys my first quarter assignments. I took 3 classes, Design 100, Draw 100, and Culture and Context 121. Now the Culture and Context class was just an art history lecture class, so I don't have any artwork from that to show, but I do have a lot from drawing and design. I'm going to go in chronological order for each class, so starting off, I'm going to talk about my design class. So I really liked this class. I had a lot of fun. I liked the professor. I'm actually taking another class with him next quarter, but I just wanted to show you guys my projects. First up is this one. It's our optical illusion project, and I had a lot of fun with it. So it was our first project. I think it was due our second week of class, and it was a lot of fun. It is really, really detailed. I don't know if the camera's gonna focus on this. I'll put up a picture of it. But it was a lot of fun to do. Really, really detail-oriented work. I struggled with it at first. I'll show up pictures of all my ideations and my initial concepts, but I ended up really, really liking it. It's a little busy, but it's supposed to be busy. It's supposed to hurt your eyes when you look at it, and I feel like it hurt when I was drawing it, so I think I was successful with that. I'm also going to mention like my general grades on the project. I think I got 100% on this one. I really liked it. My next project is my tile project. I had a lot of fun with it. We had to kind of pay homage to a different culture. I did Ecuador just because of my family there, and I recently traveled there before all this COVID mess happened. But so the point of the project was to have it be able to be viewed at any angle and also to have a lot of detail. So all of these are very, very detail oriented, which I had a lot of fun doing. This next one I hate. It's bad. I did it quickly. I ran out of time, which is completely on me. We just have to learn about atmospheric perspective. I have a mock-up of, oh, look, that all bent. I had a mock-up of this digitally that looks so much better. I'm gonna put that in because I like the digital version a lot more. With this class, we had to do everything traditionally. I prefer digital work, but I really like doing like the optical illusion, love doing traditionally. The tile, also love doing traditionally. This, I hate. It's bad. I got a B on it, I think like an 85 or something, which I think it deserves worse because it was bad. Next up is kind of a two-parter. We had to do a comic. We had to do it traditional, very sketchy, and then abstract. I love this piece of mine. I thought it was really well done. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I really liked it because my goal was that when you kind of take a look at it from far back, it looks like a hodgepodge of shapes, but then you get closer and you kind of see, oh, that's a person, that's an angel. I really liked it, but my professor didn't, which was, I was like, eh. But it happens. So this is kind of my initial sketch. This is the final. The final was the most important part, just kind of seeing the abstract nature of the comic. It's the first real comic I ever did, but the main bummer was that he didn't like it as much. He thought it was very flat, which I did on purpose, but he wanted more detail, a whole thing. But I still ended up getting, I think, a 90 something on it. Not perfect, but he gave me more points than I think he wanted to, just because I was able to argue why I liked it this way. He told me he thought it was beautiful and elegant, but just not for the project, which was kind of annoying, but I liked it. Next up is this kind of motion piece. So it's a bunch of moths flying up to the light. I wasn't a huge fan of this because it was just a little bit too messy for me. We were supposed to have things overlap, so you could see the thicker lines, the medium lines, and the lighter lines to kind of show that they are the same moth, just in motion. And he really liked it. He just didn't like how there was no, like, it was too balanced, and we were supposed to have a little bit of unbalance, which I thought I was achieving that with the wings, but, you know. This, I mean, I liked it. I like the black background best. I think it's kind of cool, but it's just not my favorite piece. But I think I got a 90 something just because I did everything I needed to. I just didn't really like it. Next up, here's just a picture of the piece because it's already wrapped up. Giving it to my mom for Christmas. So Mom, if you're watching this, spoilers alert. But we had to do a drawing of our house, which I really liked and I had fun doing in a very abstract way. I kind of did it in a more like Dr. Seuss kind of style, especially with the trees. I had a lot of fun with it, except then we had to chop it up into a bunch of little pieces. which was a bummer. But I kind of like it in a bunch of pieces better, but if you're looking at it, you have no idea what it once was, and that was kind of the point. It was a fun project. I just thought it was a little weird, but I liked it, and he really liked my work, and I got 100% on it, so it was really nice. Little pieces were always coming up and falling apart, and it was kind of a hassle to cut them all up, because there's, I think at the end, like 100 something little pieces, but you know, I had a lot of fun with it, and that was kind of our final project. So those were all my design projects. I had a lot of fun doing them all. I ended up getting an A in the class. I don't remember exactly. I think it was like a 90 something, like a 92 maybe, my final grade, but it was just an A, and that's all that really matters with SCAD. But so that was my design class. I really, really liked it. Taking another class by the professor again. I wanted to do that just because, one, I liked him, and two, I wanted to be able to be comfortable with it. Like, I didn't want to be like worried about a new teacher, which obviously I will be in the future, and I am with all my other classes, but I just really liked his teaching style, and I really liked his grading style too, so I wanted to keep kind of doing that, which I don't know if you guys noticed, all of those projects were the same size. They all were 11 by 17 on Bristol paper, and I liked how consistent that was throughout the course as well, so I didn't have to have a million different types of paper, so that's one of the main things I liked about the class. Next up is my drawing class. Now, I've never taken a traditional drawing class, so kind of take all these pieces with a grain of salt. Some of them are really, really bad, but I had a lot of fun with it because, of course, I need to know some traditional drawing for my major, which is industrial design. So it's kind of fun to get to explore different types of drawing because, like, I've never done charcoal before. I mainly do digital and like design work, so it was kind of fun. I definitely need to work on my drawing. That's what I'm going to do over break. I need to work on it, but I kind of had a lot of fun with it. I really like charcoal best, so I'm just going to go through my pieces. Some of them are disgusting, so just don't judge me too bad, but I'm going to go through them. So first up, all of these are also massive. We did, I think, 18 by 24 for majority of our pieces, which was fun, but they're huge. So this was just an initial SketchUp. Then here's another SketchUp on the back. You'll see a pattern of me doing about 3 or 4 versions for each project, and we're only supposed to do one, just because every time I'd get through it, I'd then be like, oh, this guitar is so small, the sighting's wrong, the scale's wrong, so just kind of stuff like that, which this was fun. It was kind of my first real still life, but I wasn't a huge fan of still lives, which is all this class was, by the way, so keep that in mind. This was the one I turned in as my final. It was alright. I think I got like an 80 on it, which, yeah. Trick for if you're in a drawing class and you suck at drawing, really read the rubric and make sure you get all the little pieces. Like, for instance, there's a handful of points that have all these cross sections, and some people who like have been drawing for forever don't really need to do those, but the rubric said you needed them, so I made sure to include them, and so I scored a little better. You can see some shaky lines, just too dark, too light, kind of weird. It was alright. I wasn't a huge fan of this project. And also, she said at the beginning that this is everyone's least favorite project. I was like, ooh, great way to start the class, huh? This one, a sticky note with notes on it. Put that on the back. It's one of my favorites. I'd say it's my second favorite, or third favorite maybe. It's just shoes. We kind of just were focusing on tone and value, but I'm not very good at drawing shoes, but I had a lot of fun with this. I might frame it and put it somewhere and just like give it to someone for Christmas. But I enjoyed it. It was alright. I think I got an 85 on this one. I was pretty excited about that. It was it's just learning. I had never done stuff like this before, so you can see the improvement between the first one and the second one, and you'll see the improvement all throughout this class because it did improve. But this one was pretty fun. So I got an 85, I think I mentioned that, which I think, yeah, it deserved an 85, and I was happy about that. These are all huge, so they're kind of weird to maneuver. So this next one, I did not like. So this one was the biggest unit, most weight, and I did the worst on it. I think I got a 78 on all these drawings. So it was 3 pieces. It was a graphite, additive, a charcoal subtractive, and these circles. These circles were kind of fun to do, if not for the fact I did them all in one night. Solely because my professor, I really did like her, but some of the communication wasn't too clear, and that might be on me. It's kind of on all of us, but all of my classmates and I were confused. So like the ink wash, I don't know if you can see that, was a lot of fun. The stippling was fun. I really like this charcoal blending, and It was alright. I mean, I did well on this just because it was simple, it's just spheres. But, so that part of the project I did well on. So this is the graphite, and one thing about this is easily a drawing that should have taken me 10 hours. And you can tell I didn't take 10 hours on this because I started it and realized I was doing it wrong and on the wrong paper, again, a communication thing. And then I redid it the day before it was due, and it took me probably like 2 hours to do this just because I went slow at building up the layers with the pencil, and I mean, it's alright. I did better on this part than I did on the charcoal, which surprises me. I mean, yeah, looks better than the charcoal because it's just spheres, but it was alright. This piece, it's just spheres, and they weren't good spheres. Now this, I'm gonna need to do a little bit of unwrapping. Charcoal gets everywhere, fun fact, so I didn't know that at first. Every time I put down this project, it would get smeared. Then I'd get sad. So just bear with me while I open this up. Sorry about that. Okay, so here is the charcoal drawing. So it was another still life, and this one, I mean, I didn't think it was that terrible, but my professor did, solely because like I still have these outline shapes, which I didn't realize at the time was a big no-no for charcoal drawings. So that's on me, just having outlines instead of just the difference in tone. But I feel like I did the best on that little base. That base was my saving grace. I mean, it didn't save me, I got a C on this project, but it was alright. I mean, it was tough. And this is my first time ever using charcoal, so I guess I should give myself more benefit of the doubt. But it was just a mess. And you can see it's all jacked up on the sides because I didn't use proper tape. I used, I think, painter's tape on this paper, and it tore it up. I'm just lucky it's in one piece, because when I went to peel it to take pictures of it, I realized I used the wrong tape, and I almost ruined the whole thing. So, fun times. I actually liked an earlier version of this, and I didn't do enough highlights. I was afraid of doing highlights, so it just wasn't good. It was bad. Next project was my favorite and the one I did the best on. Was this chair project. Let's see. So what we did, oh goodness, lots of versions of it, was just do in perspective, 1 point and 2 point perspective, and I already knew how to do perspective, so I was like, oh, thank God, something I know how to do, because I will be using perspective a lot in industrial design. And so I like this project because it's just kind of layers. We had like, this is vellum, then we had tracing paper, then underneath the tracing paper was just our regular drawing, which was, I liked it a lot. It was a fun project, it was pretty easy. I still struggled with it a lot because this project was immediately after I'd just gotten dealt the blow of a 78 project. And the highest grade I'd ever gotten was an 85, so my grade dropped to a 79. I was like, I cannot get a C, because if I get a C, and I didn't know what grades I was getting in the other classes yet, I could have dropped below a 3.0, and if I dropped below a 3.0, I'd lose my scholarship, so I was like, ooh. So I put a lot of effort into this. I put a lot of effort into the other ones, but just no means as much effort as I put into this one, solely because I was worried about losing all my scholarships. This is the same portions of the project. So we were drawing boxes and then we drew chairs, and so we were supposed to just do the chairs in perspective once. I did it about 4 times. So I was like, oh, that chair's too skinny. This chair's too wide. These chairs are too small. Like, I just did it a bunch and a lot of times just so that I could show and prove to her, like, I am trying, because I really am trying in all these classes, but this one I just really struggled in. So this piece is our final, and I loved this piece. It's my favorite. Well, it's not really my favorite, the chairs are my favorite, but I did, honestly, I don't remember, I think I got 80 something on this, which, yeah, makes sense. So it's my first ever face I've ever drawn, really, like, well, and not digitally. A little noisy, sorry. So this was our final, and I really liked it. It was fun to do. It was not supposed to be anyone. It was just based off of a geometrical face thing that we drew from. And one of the tricky things is all of the references that she gave us to use, we were drawing from pictures, not from real life, which, I mean, has its benefits and its doubts. So I had a lot of fun doing this one. I mean, mostly just learning shadows in the face and whatnot. I think it's one of my stronger pieces. I really do like it. I liked it in its earlier phases better, but then, I mean, I had to keep developing it to fit the rubric. But this is kind of the face. It's huge again. This one, I mean, I like a lot. I might turn into prints for my shop, honestly, just because I think it's cool. Or just as little freebie prints, but I don't know. So those were all my pieces. I know this was a pretty chatty video, but I had a lot of fun this quarter. Of course, just those two classes had pieces. I could read you my art history essay, but I don't think anyone would enjoy that. Art history, I ended up getting an A in. It wasn't an easy class, but it was easy to do well in the class, so I really liked it. All the quizzes and whatnot were open book, which was nice, which reminds me I need to return my textbook. We only had 10 weeks of classes, and we did all those pieces. So it was like every 2 weeks we'd finish one, or sometimes the big ones would be 3 weeks, but it was fun. It was nice to get to do a bunch of classes, or at least the 2 classes, and kind of learn like those foundation things, because I am not a good drawer. Design comes more easy to me, but it kind of depends. So those are my classes: Draw 100 and Design 100, and also Culture and Context, Pre-Modern Global Perspectives for my art history class and my lecture class. Next quarter in the winter, I'm taking Design 101, which is color theory, so I'm excited for that. And I'm also taking Draw 102, maybe? I need to figure that out. I can't remember. Or Draw 230? Regardless, it's just the next drawing class. And then I'm also taking Digital Communications. So I'm excited for that too, because I don't really know what that's going to entail. Just my advisor was like, oh, you should take this. So I said, okay. So it's been pretty nice. I liked school. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to continuing with school, but that's just kind of the general overview of what I did this quarter. And I just wanted to share because I think I saw a video similar to this one back when I was searching for schools and was thinking about SCAD. I thought it was really helpful, so I wanted to kind of give one from the perspective of someone who sucks at drawing. I feel like every portfolio video I see, they're like prodigies. They're all going to RISD and they're all just the best. So I was like, you know what? I need to take it down a little notch and show everyone this is average, this is below average, and just kind of show them my work and still doing good and still getting good grades, because you don't have to be a drawing god to do well in your foundation year at SCAD. Your professors grade you off of how much you try, and there's a lot more to the rubric other than just drawing. There's people I know who are gorgeous. They do gorgeous work. They were in my classes and they were amazing. But they didn't score well because they forgot half the stuff on the rubric, or they didn't do the presentations well. There's a lot more to art school than just the art. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys, because I know a video like this would have helped me a lot when I was like a junior and senior looking for stuff and information on SCAD. Thanks so much for watching. I know this isn't a typical video for me because I'm usually talking about Etsy and whatnot, but I do want to kind of transfer this channel into still, of course, talking about my small business primarily, but also some little life things, because when I am eventually down living in Savannah, I won't be able to do too much business stuff, so I want to kind of introduce you guys to what I do other than my business. So school, I'm a student, so I kind of wanted to share those projects with you guys, but thanks so much for watching. If you want more SCAD info, I know I have another video about SCAD. I'll link it down below or put it up in the top or something if I can figure that out. And just feel free to like and subscribe if you like this video and want more like it. Thanks so much for watching.